April 4th, 1968 began like any other spring day in Memphis, Tennessee. The air was filled with the promise of a new day and the streets were alive with the usual hustle and bustle. People went about their daily routines, unaware of the dark cloud that would soon cast a shadow over the city. The sun was shining, birds were singing, and the city was bustling with life. Children played in the parks, and families enjoyed the warm weather. It seemed like a perfect day. A day full of hope and possibilities, but by day's end, the city, and indeed the nation, would be plunged into mourning. The news spread like wildfire, leaving a trail of shock and sorrow in its wake. People gathered in disbelief, their hearts heavy with grief. This tragic day marked the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a pivotal figure in the American civil rights movement. His voice had been a beacon of hope and a call to action for millions. King, a Baptist minister and activist, was a powerful advocate for equality and justice. His speeches resonated with the oppressed and inspired countless individuals to join the fight for civil rights. He dedicated his life to fighting for the rights of African Americans and against the deeply ingrained system of segregation and discrimination in the United States. His tireless efforts and unwavering commitment to nonviolent protest made him a symbol of hope and resilience. On that fateful day, the world lost not just a leader, but a visionary whose dream of equality and justice continues to inspire generations. Dr. King's journey for equality took him across the nation, from the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., to the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama. His message was one of peace and nonviolence, urging his followers to combat hate with love and injustice with unwavering determination. He led marches, organized boycotts, and delivered powerful speeches that resonated with millions. In the spring of 1968, Dr. King traveled to Memphis to support the city's striking sanitation workers. These workers, most of whom were African American, were protesting unfair wages, unsafe working conditions, and racial discrimination. King saw their struggle as part of a larger fight for economic and social justice, a fight that transcended racial boundaries. He believed that all working people deserved fair treatment and dignity. Tragedy at the Lorraine Motel. On April 4, 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stood on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. It was a day that would be etched into the annals of history forever. Dr. King was in Memphis to support the sanitation workers' strike, a cause that highlighted the ongoing struggle for economic justice and civil rights. He was preparing to lead another march, a peaceful demonstration to demand better wages and working conditions for the sanitation workers. As he stood on the balcony, talking and laughing with friends and colleagues, a shot suddenly rang out, shattering the evening calm. Dr. King was struck by a sniper's bullet, collapsing onto the balcony floor. The scene quickly turned chaotic as people rushed to his aid, their faces etched with shock and horror. He was rushed to St. Joseph's Hospital, where doctors worked tirelessly to save his life. Despite their best efforts, the wound was too severe, and Dr. King was pronounced dead at 7:05 p.m. The news of his assassination spread like wildfire, sending shockwaves of grief and anger across the nation and the world. People took to the streets, mourning the loss of a leader who had given them hope and a vision for a better future. The tragedy at the Lorraine Motel marked a dark chapter in American history, but it also galvanized the civil rights movement, inspiring countless individuals to continue Dr. King's fight for justice and equality. A nation mourns, a movement marches on. The assassination of Dr. King ignited an immediate outcry for justice and an end to racial violence. Cities across America erupted in protests and riots as people mourned the loss of a leader who embodied peace and equality. However, amidst the grief and anger, King's message of nonviolence continued to resonate. Many leaders and activists called for calm and urged the nation to honor King's legacy by continuing the fight for civil rights. The enduring legacy of a dream. The assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a devastating loss, not just for the civil rights movement, but for humanity as a whole. His untimely death left a void that seemed impossible to fill. Yet, in the face of this tragedy, his vision for a better world did not perish, but his dream of equality lives on. It has transcended generations, inspiring countless individuals to take up the mantle of justice and equality. From the streets of Selma to the modern-day protests, his message remains a powerful force for change. His legacy continues to inspire generations of activists, leaders, and ordinary people to fight for a more just and equitable world. His speeches, filled with hope and determination, echo through time, reminding us of the power of unity and the importance of standing up for what is right, and ordinary people to fight for a more just and equitable world. Community events, rallies, and volunteer efforts all serve as testaments to his enduring influence. People from all walks of life come together, united by a shared vision of equality and justice. He reminded us that the arc of the moral universe is long, and though the journey towards justice may be arduous and fraught with challenges, it is a journey worth undertaking, but it bends towards justice. This powerful metaphor continues to resonate, offering hope and encouragement to those who strive for a fairer world. His words and actions continue to resonate, urging us to create a world where his dream of equality becomes a reality. His speeches are studied, his books are read, and his life is celebrated as a beacon of hope and resilience, urging us to create a world where his dream of equality becomes a reality. In classrooms, children learn about his life and legacy, ensuring that his dream lives on in the hearts and minds of future generations. The enduring legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is a testament to the power of hope, the strength of unity, and the unyielding pursuit of justice. Subscribe emgotv360 History